My name is Michael Funk. I'm a city councilman with the city of Dumas. A little bit skeptical at first, but as we moved further into the project, I think we convinced and dissipated a lot of those fears. Some of the citizens' concerns were when you say the word low income, that brings all kinds of connotations to the conversation. And you know, they were worried about the property getting run down. They were worried about the wrong element moving into my neighborhood and things of that nature. Overland assured us that the property would be maintained to the highest quality because they are on the hook for federal tax credits and they have standards that they have to maintain. And also, as far as the wrong element, I mean, I think that's pretty well covered with background checks that Overland does rather extensively on your credit, on your criminal history, on things of that nature.
We had some concerns, some citizens that were concerned about basically the normal stuff, traffic, you know, what the increased traffic in the neighborhood would be, and they were very legitimate concerns, you know, and I feel like we're working very closely with OPT and taking care of those concerns.
I've heard a few negative comments, but like I said, that's just, a lot of that is fear and fear of the unknown.
You know, ultimately, any type of information is key for people who have concern. Showing them the information as far as what Overland Properties brings to the community, not just affordable housing, whether it's the companies that maintain your grounds. There's a job there. There's, you know, maintenance people. There's jobs there. It creates jobs. So even though the stigma of the affordable housing's there's so many great positives from it that when you bring those out to citizens, they start seeing the big picture rather than the small picture of affordable housing.
Yeah, I bought my house over here in 2006. We moved back into town, originally from here, moved back into town in 06, and there was just an empty field over there. Kids would go out and play ball over there, hang out, and then we heard that there was some housing coming in. We thought they were single family homes, but then we found out they were apartment style homes. And your first thought is, okay, what kind of apartment style homes? Is it gonna be like a duplex or multiple houses or what? So I did kind of my research, and I know some of the ladies down at the DevCorp and the chamber, and they said that it was supposed to be manageable income housing, and we also heard it was supposed to be low income housing. And then you get kind of scared because it's supposed to be low income. But I did my research and found out that it wasn't low income housing. Yeah, obviously, when you think low income, you don't like the stereotype, but you think of crime, some suspicious stuff going on at nights, and you don't hear that. You don't hear noise, you don't hear or see cars coming in and out of it that look suspicious. I actually know half a dozen people that live over there, so it doesn't bother me with it being over there now. And like I said, we need more housing, so we need more properties like that.
As far as research on low income housing, you know, I looked at the old HUD model, and that was what Overland assured me was not what they were going to be doing.
I think the key to that was Overland did a real good job of presenting the correct information. It's not subsidized, you know, it's the tax credit housing, and getting that correct information out there to people eliminated a lot of the questions. They
seemed very professional, very dedicated to the project as far as putting up a quality housing residential area that someone would be proud to call home, and to do it in a way that addresses all the concerns of the neighboring citizens and the infrastructure needs of the city.
I wouldn't call it skepticism, but just hesitancy at first because of the unknown. From our standpoint, they've been very easy to deal with. They seem to build good, high quality housing, and we have had nothing but good experiences with them.
Talk about your experience with Overland Property Group as a developer.
Well, it's been very good, and I say that with all sincerity. They're a very professional group. They have a good plan. They understand the plan. They do a good job of articulating the plan and explaining it. It's been a very good working relationship. When they first came on the scene, they were from Kansas City area, and we thought, well, you know, okay, here's somebody from outside coming in to tell us what we need to do, and so on. But really, we found it to be a very pleasant experience. They've been very cooperative. We did some due diligence. We found out a little bit more about them, found out that they did a good job in other communities. We actually even sent a team out to see a couple of the complexes that they'd done in surrounding communities, and they came back very impressed.
Well, I went up to Liberal and looked at the one up there. The overall view of the property is very attractive, very pleasant to look at. I wouldn't have a problem raising my kids or family in those houses. I talked to a couple of the neighbors around there that lived there. You had some that kind of, for the most part, they didn't care, but there was some, that, hey, they're great neighbors. I don't have a problem with them.
I went and looked at the properties in Hays, Kansas and Lawrence, Kansas, and I actually went to Liberal, Kansas, where I do business, and visited and just kind of drove around that property to see what it was like. And all three locations were very well kept up, clean, grass was nice, all that stuff. So I felt a lot better after I went and seen it for myself.
Like I said, my impression of Overland from day one to day now is very favorable.
We have seen tremendous expansion in our existing industries, as well as with the new casino and different entertainment facilities that we've created. We also have a lot of wind farm construction going on right now, as well as the oil and gas industry is moving into the community. And so when the primary sector jobs are created, of course we have that rollover of more teachers needed.
It creates jobs, opportunities for companies, whether it's, like I said, the landscaping. We've actually received calls wanting to know who owns these properties because they're landscaping companies and they want to get their bids in. And so, it creates other side jobs that people don't always think about. And that's what keeps the community going, is those jobs that not only the places for people to live, but the jobs that they create also is always a great positive.
Dumas is a growing community right now, growing a small amount every year and has been for years, and you just run into those housing problems, where you need more affordable housing, and this would alleviate some of those, and that was one of my main concerns. The people that will probably be moving into this apartment complex will be those that have jobs at United and just the normal everyday people that work in the community, and need places to live and deserve everything that everybody else has.
And now, as you see, it's well kept. The grass is nice, and that second phase is just as nice.
What would you say to somebody who had one coming in?
In a different town?
Yeah.
I would tell them to do the same thing I did, is be open-minded about it. Don't give judgment too quick. Do your research on it and try and get to know what it's about.
I think it's a good fit. I think Overland is a good fit for the city of Dumas, and I look forward to being a partner with them on down the road.